Welcome to Permission to Thrive. I'm your host, Suzi Lula. As a spiritual therapist for over 20 years, I have the honor and privilege of ushering women and mothers just like you on a journey from simply surviving to powerfully thriving. I also have the honor of raising our son, Will, who is now a young adult, with my longtime partner, Jamie, so I'm right there on the journey with you. Consider this your personal sanctuary, your space to meet your heart, embrace your messy, and come home to your most authentic, extraordinary self. My hope is that you leave resourced and inspired because you are here to shine. Welcome to Permission to Thrive. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Permission to Thrive. I'm so glad to be with you all today. I have a very special treat and episode for you. A few weeks ago, I offered a free masterclass called The Abundant Mother, and I received such overwhelming feedback from so many of you. Things like, you've listened to this masterclass multiple times already. It was just what you needed at the time. You are committed to shifting your consciousness from one of lack to one of abundance. Many of you said that you are leaving mom guilt behind once and for all. That just makes my heart sing. Imagine no more mom guilt. Heart singing. So I received such overwhelming, incredible feedback that I wanted to offer this episode to all of you today. When you can move your consciousness from one of lack to one of abundance, all of your relationships will shift and change and be enhanced and expanded, but most especially the one you're having with your children. As a society, we are so conditioned to parent and to relate to all those in our lives from such a paradigm of lack. And in my experience working with thousands of clients and students over the years, when you can transform your consciousness from one of lack to a consciousness of abundance, from overwhelm to overflow, and from overflow to overglow, then your entire parenting journey and experience and your journey in all of your relationships shifts, transforms, and is enhanced. So sit back, relax, and receive all the gifts that are here for you today in this episode called The Abundant Mother. Much love, everyone, and enjoy. So welcome officially, everyone. Today is called The Abundant Mother, but I'm going to stretch that title and call it The Abundant Parent, because we actually had at least 50 or 60 men also signed up for this free gift from my heart to your heart, my parent heart to your parent heart. We had thousands of you sign up for this free masterclass. I know that fewer of us in numbers can actually make it live. So if you're watching the replay, the recording, so glad that you're also with us. And I feel that we as parents, we are giving, we are doing, we are so externally oriented that each year around Mother's Day, I like to give a free gift, some free nurturing time. For a parent to have to do nothing is such a gift. And I like to gift parents during this time of year just an hour, 45 minutes, where you get to do nothing, you get to open your heart and receive. So it's a pretty packed time that we have, but the time you won't be asked to do anything except receive, get your cup filled, become resourced, renewed, refreshed, re-energized. So for those of you getting to know me, my name is Suzi Lula. I am and have been a spiritual therapist for almost 25 years. I see one-on-one clients day in, day out. I have a ton of online courses, and I certify individuals and coaches in the world of spiritual psychology. So I have spiritual psychology coaches out there. Some individuals come for your own transformation. Many coaches come to have a specialized field and way to work with individuals in marrying the fields of spirituality and psychology, which is one of my deep loves. And I'm a parent. So I have a son, Will, who is in college, and I have an adopted daughter, CJ, who is a young adult out in the world thriving. She started and runs a nonprofit organization called Win Place Home, and she rescues racehorses before they get put down. And she retrains them and then adopts them out as family horses and riding horses. And so she's lovely. She's wonderful, beautiful artist, beautiful being, so light-filled, so open-hearted. And then Will is in college in New York. I'm in LA. And just a little bit more about me. I wrote a book called The Motherhood Evolution, How Thriving Mothers Raise Thriving Children. So if you want to pick that up, I'll put the link at the end. But this is my passion because parenting is requiring of us to give and give and give and give. And that's fine. That's what we signed up for. I love giving to my kids. The benefit of, or why I wrote the book, is that I have found, myself included, clients, students, we give so much to our own detriment. We give and then we're empty. And so my book is teaching you how you can thrive and actually how that truly benefits your children to see you thriving, to witness you thriving, that to see you modeling to them. Most of us didn't have our parents model to us what thriving looks like, what blossoming and flourishing and living in abundance looks like, for many different reasons that I won't go into today, but I do go deeply into it in the book. So welcome, everyone. I'm so grateful. As I said, we had thousands of people sign up. I know it's fewer of us on the live, but if you're watching the replay, you're not alone. You're amongst thousands of mothers, parents who are interested in becoming refreshed and proving to ourselves that thriving is the state that will be of the most benefit to our kids. So this is my gift to you. Please sit down, sit back, relax, maybe get a cup of tea, a journal, a candle, relax. This is my gift to you. So for those of you getting to know me, I always start off with a centering and an intention setting. So let's just do that. If it feels right to you, let's just gently close our eyes. I'm going to center us. Just a moment of, as we close our eyes and become aware of our breath, we remember that we can do this 1,000 times in a day. Washing the dishes, taking our child to a baseball game, a baseball practice, an activity. We can take a moment and call ourselves to our center, to our heart. We can move from our head to our heart. And so this particular centering, because we are gathering today, is a centering around safety, that you may feel safe in your heart, so that you may feel not protected during this time together, that you may feel relaxed without the need to guard yourself or armor yourself up, protect yourself, control, manage, effort in that way. But instead, come with an open heart, an unprotected heart, an undefended heart, an open heart, a receptive heart. Because we as parents, our big opportunity today, right now, in this time, is to learn how to better receive. And so I have so much planned for you to simply receive today. This is your day, your time. And then whenever you feel ready, just listen for an intention that you might have for today? What would make you so glad that you took 45 minutes, an hour of your time to watch this? What would you be leaving with? Maybe more abundance, the ability to receive, more inwardly connected, more joy, more inspiration, expansion, deeper connection with your kids, whatever it is. When you hear it, gently open your eyes and then write it in the chat. Another Susie here. Hi, Susie from Philly. 2 kids, ages 11 and 14. Beautiful. Welcome. I'm just curious. I know Philadelphia is a large city, but did you happen to attend Bridge to Brilliance? Because I know we extended this invitation to anyone who was at Bridge to Brilliance for International Women's Day. And if you were not part of that, I'd like to hook you up because it was in Philadelphia and will be in Philadelphia again next week. Hi, Ron. Welcome. Benevolent and beneficial. Very good. Healing in the form of laughter, abundance, not only in cash and happy clients, but abundance in peace, joy, healthy connection with others. Beautiful. Refocus on the blessings of my life. Beautiful. And in my relationships. Wonderful. More appreciation for my role as a parent. Beautiful. Oh, lovely. You were not at Bridge for Brilliance, but someone who was there told you. Yeah, wonderful. And I can definitely, and your friend obviously can hook you up too. So that's lovely. Relax into inner peace. Excellent. Keep them coming, your intention. And then I want to dive in today. So also for any of you just getting to know me, what you will learn about me is that I typically start with an experiential process. I'm very, what is the word? I would say passionate, but it's more than passionate. Research shows us that we have become a culture that ingests information from the neck up. And therefore, it makes it challenging for us to integrate transformation. And so we know a lot of things, but our outer experience with our children or with ourselves or with our other relationships lacks that peace and joy and inspiration and abundance and deep connection and intimacy that we're all looking for because we're so communicated information and in an academic way. And so I like to do a lot of experiential processes so that you leave today more embodied and more integrated with the material. So I want to start with that. I'm going to start by playing a song for everyone. And this song is a song you guys might already know it. It's called Girls by Rachel Platten. And it's she's a mom, and it's a song she wrote for her daughters. And I'd like you all to listen to this song in 2 different ways. Even though it says girls, I have a boy, so you can listen to it, just child. But I also want you to hear it for yourself. This is a time for you to recognize that if you are a parent here, if you are reparenting yourself, if you are remothering yourself, then what's happening? You are practicing a lot. You are practicing a lot. You are practicing a lot. You are externally oriented towards what your children need, fulfilling their needs. And so this is a time that I want you to deeply connect with your own heart, with your own soul as a parent. Who said, Barbara had said, to refocus on the blessings of my life. To refocus is a great, is something that happens when we sing a song to ourselves, ingest something to and for ourselves, and then more appreciation for my role as a parent. You will experience more appreciation when you give to yourself. So I'm going to start the song. I want you to sing it to yourself, and then I'm going to take you through a little guided process after the song. So sit back, excuse me, assuming you're not driving or running, just gently close your eyes so you can really take this in. Take a nice deep breath. Become aware of your breath.
you always know your worth, though I know that life can hurt. Hope you know that you can turn to each other. Hope you learn to trust your voice, make mistakes and make some noise. Hope you never lose your joy or your hunger. Girls, you were born to run, to reach the stars and chase the sun. Girls, you were wild and free. The wind is at your back, the world is at your feet. Sometimes life can feel unfair, broken hearts you can't repair. Sometimes you might be scared that no one gets you. It's not easy being brave when tears are falling down your face, but that's how you'll find your strength, so I'll let you. Girls, you were born to run, to reach the stars and chase the sun. Girls, you are wild and free. The wind is at your back, the world is at your feet. Someday friends might turn their backs, falling leaves might hide your path. You'll try hard, might come in last, yeah, but just around the corner. You'll move mountains, you'll make waves. You'll be fearless, you'll be brave. There'll be nothing you can't face. Hope you always know your worth, though I know that life can hurt. Hope you know that you can turn to each other. Hope the road ahead is clear, and I hope you know when I'm not here that you'll always have the love of your mother.
So as you're just singing this to yourself, you are becoming aware that you yourself are here to chase the stars, reach for the stars of your life, chase the sun of your life. So often as parents, we all but forget about ourselves. We're so focused on our children, but you as a soul, as a spirit, as an individual, and as a parent are here to reach for the stars of your heart, the sun of your heart. Often as parents, we find ourselves dying on the vine, forgetting who we are as individuals, as spirits, as souls. So this is a moment to connect, nourish yourself, your own heart, your own spirit, your own soul, and remember your own aspirations, dreams, filling your own cup so that you come back the refreshed, renewed, resourced parent that your child needs and wants you to be, and then you are available for the deep connection that I know you want with your children, and I know your children want with you. As you see yourself, as you see your own worth, as you see how much you do, even in a day for your children, most of which they will never even recognize. This is sacred giving. Please take this moment, see yourself, see how much giving you do in a day. In a day. And appreciate and acknowledge all that you do, how much effort, how hard you try. You would not be here if you weren't interested in being the most expanded version, the highest version of yourself as a parent. You wouldn't even be here. So as you were seeing yourself, seeing your worth, acknowledging yourself, acknowledging your worth, appreciating all that you give, to your children. And as you reconnect with yourself, I want to just read a little from my book, The Motherhood Evolution. It's from chapter 20, How Good Can Your Life Be? How good can your life be? This is a takeaway for today. This is the abundant parent. So it starts with a quote by the Greek philosopher Epictetus, God has entrusted me with myself. So just say that to yourself, God has entrusted me with myself. My friend and yoga teacher Lee Simran Brown illustrates this when she says, conscious breath after breath, intentional practice after practice, we till the field of our consciousness, creating a rich environment for our own growth and unfoldment. Set yourself up for full bloom. This is what you are doing today. You're setting yourself up for full bloom. As I continue reading, I want you to just imagine, what is your life like when you yourself as a parent are blooming? When you yourself as a parent are thriving from the inside out? How would you be more expanded? How would you be more in touch with your joy and your creativity and your inspiration? But more importantly, how would this benefit your child? How would your child's life change, transform, expand, blossom, flourish, the more that you are expanded, transformed, blossoming, and flourishing? So I go on to say, my intention as a mother is to be the best steward I can be of the precious life that I have been entrusted with, that of my son, that of my daughter. To do this well, I must first be the best steward of my own precious life and the gifts that I have been given. So again, as you're hearing me read, please take a moment, see that your life is precious. You won't be on this earth forever. This is the time you have. This is the time you have been given. Each and every one of us has been entrusted with our own precious life. We are here to cherish and treasure this life. Just as our children are, we are encoded with gifts and talents we have come here to share, contributing to those around us for as long as we are here. Becoming acquainted with our own unique gifts is the first step towards sharing them. For how can we share what we are unaware of or have not been in touch with? Consequently, the more we thrive, the richer our caring for others can be, especially our children. The more we mothers are fulfilled from within ourselves, and I should say the more we parents are fulfilled from within ourselves, the less we need our children to be or do anything in particular. Giving ourselves permission to live our own life and our own dreams frees our children to be the exquisite individuals that they too came here to be, living the life that they came here to live, free of a need to fulfill any abandoned dreams of ours. Setting ourselves up for full bloom allows our children to do the same. So I'm going to say that last sentence one more time. Please just take this in. Setting yourself up for full bloom allows your children to do the same. So just by taking the time and investing in this moment, in this time, you are literally going to go back into your world and model to your children that they are free to thrive in their life, to become all that they came here to be, with abandon, follow their dreams, flourish, blossom, bloom, transform, grow. How good can your life be? And just begin right before we open our eyes. Let's just begin to feel into how good could your life be if you appreciated yourself. Just right now, how good could your life be if you really see yourself as the worthy individual that you are? How would your relationship with your children be enriched already just today? And then whenever you get a feeling of how good can your life be, I want you to just gently open your eyes. And if anything came to you from that song, from this closed eye process, please just write a word, write a quality, write a takeaway, write a commitment, write a dedication, write something that you are committing to leaving with today. I love a lot of you are saying, that was so beautiful, you're crying. It's so gentle and a reminder that everything is okay. Music has a way of bringing us into our heart, and there is nothing we need more as parents than to parent from the heart. All relationships are starving for that heart-to-heart connection. That's what feeds a relationship. That is what nourishes a relationship. And as I was saying, we are taught to live so much of our own lives from the neck up that we miss the heart connection that every one of us was longing for from our own parents. Every one of you. Is there anyone who did not want that real deep heart connection from our own parents? And that is what we want to gift to our own kids. Joy, magnificent feminine, beautiful. Innocence, I forgot about my innocence and I want to remember that. That's beautiful. Freedom inside that innocence. I want to remember my innocence. I particularly love the quality of innocence. We are all born so innocent, and we are all innocent in this very moment. And the more that you can see and embody and integrate and take ownership of your own innocence, the more you will relate to your child by seeing their innocence. And again, in our culture, we are so taught to enmesh our child's behavior with a sense of innocence. So if they, quote, misbehave, then we lose our ability to see their innocence because we judge the misbehavior. But we are all innocent, doing the very best we can. My son, when he was in high school, climbed out of our window a couple of late nights, took our car a couple of late nights. He was still an innocent being that didn't touch his innocence. He was an innocent being, learning, developing, growing. Yes, did we have to have some boundaries and create some different behaviors? Absolutely. But his innocence deserves to remain intact. And your innocence as a parent deserves to remain intact. You are going to make so many mistakes as a parent. I make so many mistakes as a parent, but my innocence deserves to remain intact. So that song helps us to look at our own innocence. Beautiful. Heart, brain, coherence. Beautiful, Lisa. Heart, brain, coherence. Beautiful. Beautiful song. Thank you. I'll put the name of the song. You all will, even though you're live, you all will also receive the replay with an email, and I'll put the name of the song so you guys can go back and listen to it. Obviously, it's on this recording as well. I love all of Rachel Platten's music. She is a mom, so much of her music speaks to her journey, and it's very heart-centered. I judge myself so much because I can't see myself. Yeah, I've been trying to see myself again. Beautiful. Yeah, this is a practice. That's why I offer this free time. This is a practice. And so you practice, hopefully by the time that you leave here today, we're all of us will be seeing ourselves even incrementally more. That's why I say seeing our innocence. Thank you. Veronica is saying she loves the motherhood evolution. This is my book, and this is one of my clients sent me. This is my book that she bought, and then she created like a workbook out of it and did like so many creative things with the book, and she sent it to me, and I just love it. I just love what she did and the way she used it. I just love it. Okay, so here's where I want to go next. So we're speaking about receiving. So for the rest of this time, again, I want you just open-hearted. There's nothing you have to do. You just get to listen, receive. I want to begin to assist us to move from a place of lack to a place of abundance. Because what happens as parents? Because our culture has taught us that our parenting is more about our doing. It's more about our child's behavior. It's more about how many activities they go to, what schools they go to, what college they go to, what are they going to be when they grow up? How are they doing on their report card? Our culture teaches us that parenting is all about our child's behavior. And so that keeps us in a doing loop. And then what happens is what Andrea is saying. Often we die on the vine. We can't even see ourselves anymore because everything about our experience, especially if you have multiple children, each child needs you 24/7. And then your experience is about giving, 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 external, 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 doing, doing, doing. And you lose that connection with your own heart, your own soul, your own spirit, your own being. And you end up dying on the vine. And then what happens? Your own cup is empty. You're exhausted. You're overwhelmed. You're frustrated. You're impatient because your own cup is empty. And when our cup is empty, we are parenting from a paradigm of lack. And so we're trying to do all the things. And it is true that our children do need us. Even I thought, when my son, he just thrived in his high school experience, even through COVID, he was just thriving. And then because of COVID, we didn't get to go to different college campuses. So he ended up not happy at the college he was at. And I thought my parenting journey was going to be pretty much over when he left home from high school. And he really needed me because he was going through such a dark time. So what happens when our children really need us? It becomes even more imperative for us to be parenting them from a cup of abundance rather than a paradigm of lack. And so that's challenging. It takes a lot of courage. That's why I'm very passionate about it is imperative for us parents to give ourselves permission to care for ourselves because culture is not going to give you permission. Why? Culture does not want you thriving as a parent. Why? Because we live in a capitalistic culture. And so culture wants you purchasing the next thing externally that's going to make you think that you're enough, or enroll your children in enough activities, have them, successful at and achieve enough things so that you feel worthy as a parent. So society is not going to give you the permission to thrive from the inside out. That's why I'm passionate about doing these things. And the fact that we have thousands of people enrolling is indicative that this is something we know that we're seeking to parent. We're taught to parent from a paradigm of lack. And so when we're moving from lack to abundance, the first thing that we need is even to give ourselves permission. Why? Because there are so many mythologies out there that tell us that as soon as our child is born, if we continue to take care of ourselves, that we're selfish. And so that's why we've all heard the term mom guilt. And if you are a male and you're here, you're a parent, you're a father, it's the same thing. We work and then we take care of our kids. And if we put ourselves on the map to care for ourselves, we're taught that it's selfish. And we're taught to put ourselves last. And I'm telling you, the paradigm will never assist you to parent in abundance. And when you are parenting from lack, you are not able to show up the way that your children need you to show up. Is that making sense to everybody? Just give me a yes, a thumbs up in the chat if it's making sense to you. You're not going to be able to show up in abundance to your child and show up in the way and the manner that you want to show up if you yourself are in lack. So we must give ourselves permission to move from a paradigm of lack into a paradigm of abundance. So some of the questions that you can ask yourself, and some of you have already answered this even in the chat, is, do you know who you are outside of your role as a parent? Are you still in touch with the transcendent part of you? Are you still in touch with the spirit of you? Are you still in touch with the heart of you? in addition to your role as a parent, so that you can bring that enormous energy, that inspired energy, that infinite potentiality, infinite possibilities, that flow state? Can you bring that flow state back into your experience and relationship with your children? So we are seeking the flow state, and we are going to achieve the flow state to the degree that we give ourselves permission and tell ourselves that it is imperative from this moment forward that you give yourself permission to care for yourself. You cannot care for your child to a greater degree than you are caring for yourself. You will be caring for your child from an exhausted place, and that is a state of lack. So do you even still really know yourself? Do you need to meet yourself again? That's what a few of you were saying on the chat. And for those of you who are listening on the replay, do you need to meet yourself again? And then once you meet yourself, then we move into the reading that I was reading from my book. How good can your life be? How good can you imagine, envision your life to be right now in the current state that it's in? So even when my son was going through a really dark time last year, having a really hard time getting out of bed in the morning, even during that time, when he was a teen and he was kind of sneaking out of the house, even during that time, even in his early toddler and elementary school years, when I was getting calls from the teacher, he has a hard time sitting still, he has a hard time learning not to interrupt, how to raise his hand, impulse control issues. Even through all of these different age stages, developmental stages, challenges that he was going through that affected me, it was my imperative to stay in a state of abundance myself, because even more so, he needed me to be in a state of abundance because he was not in a state of abundance. So how could I assist him to right himself, to recenter himself? Right? To recenter himself, to not splinter off away from himself, but to stay in his authentic self. And so giving myself permission to stay my most abundant self, that's why I wrote the book, because I needed the book for myself. And I saw thousands of students and hundreds of clients also needing the permission, give ourselves permission. How good can your life be right now, even in the midst of any challenges that either you are moving through or one of your children is moving through? Because of course, life is going to put into our lap different things to help us to grow. How well can you take care of yourself? How much guilt can you let go of? What I would love for each one of you today watching is that you make an agreement with me that from this moment forward, you will not allow yourself to feel parental guilt again for caring for yourself. So I want to give you a distinction of guilt. There is a certain guilt that is encoded within us. It is the kind of guilt that will activate if you go into a store today and you take a book out of the store without paying for the book. If you steal a book, there's something that's encoded that will, of course, be activated. That is not okay. That guilt is healthy guilt. But the cultural guilt that we have been indoctrinated and conditioned into that says taking care of ourselves as a parent should elicit guilt. It's cultural. That is cultural conditioning. It is not accurate. It is not true. It is harmful. It is damaging. I would never have been able to teach my daughter CJ as a woman to care for herself if she wasn't seeing it from me, modeling it by me. I would never be able to teach my son Will to care for himself, and if he gets in a relationship one day, to really have that generosity of spirit to support his partner to care for themselves if he didn't see it modeled. So it is imperative, indicative, and I want you to write in the chat right now just a yes if you are willing to leave this time guilt free. Don't ever pick up guilt again. In my book, I talk extensively about guilt and martyrdom, because those are two parental indoctrinations we all have. I don't want to go into it today, but we're all indoctrinated to think that taking care of ourselves means that we're selfish, and we're really ending up doing a disservice to ourselves, but mostly our children, because you're not going to raise your children to live in abundance if you're living in lack. So I'm giving you this external permission today, and I want you to take it with you. I never feel guilty for taking care of myself again. Once I realized how much I was actually benefiting Will from taking care of myself. So how much permission to thrive can you give yourself today? So write in the chat, I'm giving myself permission to thrive today, to live in abundance today. And then I just want you to ask yourself, where are you in lack? Where are you in your life operating from a sense of lack right now? Where are you operating from a sense of lack? It might be simply that you are in that cultural indoctrination that says, if I take care of myself, I'm selfish. But perhaps there are deeper reasons. Maybe you didn't grow up with parents and you didn't see it modeled. You didn't see thriving modeled. You didn't see abundance modeled. You didn't see well-being and health in relationships and energy modeled in your home. Maybe the energy in your home was filled with lack or toxicity. So what are the deeper reasons? Where are you in lack? How do you know yourself to be in lack? And then I'm going to ask you another question after that, but I want to see. Excellent. Aho, excellent. Yes, yes. Amen. Excellent. I give myself permission to thrive. Excellent. If you are at home and you're watching this, take out your journal, write it down. Let yourself, then every time you go back to that journal, write it big, write it large, write it on your mirror, put it in your home. I give myself permission to thrive. Do you understand that if you give yourself permission to thrive and you make it very visible to everyone, that your children are going to see maybe every time they walk into your bathroom, oh, my mom's giving herself permission to thrive. Even if you never say it to them, they will give themselves permission to thrive because they see you. Write it, make it visible. My kids, my son, my daughter, CJ, they give themselves permission to thrive. Why? Because they've seen all the notes plastered all over my house, right? I give myself permission to thrive. Write it in your home. Let it be visible. Write it here, write it everywhere. Share with your parent friends. I don't feel guilt anymore. I'm cutting the cords to that cultural indoctrination that says it's selfish. I know I work with a lot of people that come from different cultures, and it is really sad because we've been parented and then taught that we're supposed to sacrifice. I'll take one more quick moment, then I have another question for you. The real definition of the word, the origin of the word sacrifice, do you know what the word sacrifice means? It actually means to make sacred. I talk a lot about this at the beginning of the book, to make sacred. So we're not meant to sacrifice. We're meant to make this parenting journey sacred. Every day, that is my intention, to make my journey sacred. I saw my mom's success was taken away from her by my father. Growing up, my brothers would always take away my money. Yeah, that's so you were raised in Mexico. That's I know I'm generalizing, but that male culture, that's why this is so important, especially it's important for men and women for different reasons. Women, for the reasons that you're sharing. Men, because men have also been robbed of their inherent feminine qualities. And we're each and all masculine and feminine within ourselves. And all of us, male and female, are so tipped over into toxic masculinity. And women are suffering, but men are deeply suffering as well. And so this is the time to allow those nurturing qualities to be birthed and emerge from within us. The lack I act on is the idea I have to do all instead of knowing everything will be done when I do self-care. Exactly. And much of it without my own action. It's so true. I can't stress this to you enough. When you care for yourself, you begin to connect with this universe, and synchronistic things come into your lap, and you learn how to receive, and you learn how to accept support. And that is my next question for you. So the first question was, how do you operate from lack, and where did that lack originate? So I want you, as you leave today, to be contemplating those questions around lack, and how were you brought up in a consciousness of lack, so that you have an understanding and awareness, because that's going to help you move into a state of abundance the more awareness you have. Now, the next question I want you to ask yourself is, how able are you to receive? Because receiving and parenting typically have not been taught to go hand in hand. Because we're such givers, we have to give to our kids over and over and over and over and over in a day. And we do that to the detriment of our own receiving. So now I want you to just ask yourself, how able or not able am I of receiving, right? What is your relationship with receiving? And what are the deeper reasons for that? What are the deeper reasons that you are not, connected, capable, able with the quality of receiving right now? So I'm going to just take a moment, contemplate that. Please write in the chat when it comes to you. If you're watching the replay, write it at home. You can come back to these questions over and over again. So we're asking ourselves, how do I know myself to be in lack? Where did that come from? What is my relationship with receiving? Where did that come from? And then we're going to have just one more question after that. So lack, receiving, and then I'll get to the last question. I feel that lack of self-care is because we had parents or grandparents whose kids were seen but not heard. Exactly. We're here to be seen but not heard. Exactly. They never took responsibility for it. Exactly. Yes. Kids just did not matter, especially if your parents were selfish. Exactly. So Aaliyah is asking, what about narcissistic parents? That is a whole different, very important conversation. So what I want to say about, my mom was a narcissist. And what I have to say about that is that narcissistic parents teach us that we are not important, that we don't matter. And it's easy for us to feel then disconnected from our sense of worth. And so if you had a narcissistic parent, a narcissistic partner, a narcissistic anyone in your world, your practice becomes imperative, that you leave here today saying, I was not modeled someone who gave to me. I was not modeled that, but I am willing to take it on myself. So I didn't see a mom who took care of herself and then graciously gave to me from her overflow. I didn't experience that. Another reason I wrote the book, another reason I do the work that I do. But there came a time in my life, especially when I became a parent, and I was very committed that I did not want to repeat generational patterns. So I needed to teach myself. And now, because I taught myself, now I can teach you guys. You can get the book. You can go to one of my courses. That's what I do 24/7, is teach you how to move into this area of abundance, which takes me to my last question. Okay, I'm going to ask you the last question, then I'll go back to some more comments. Last question. What do you need to leave with right now to assist you to move from lack into abundance? What is something that you need that you can give to yourself before you leave today that will begin to take you from lack into the world of abundance? Excuse me. I learned to not ask for much in order to not rock the boat. I think so many people can relate to that. I'm allowing my awareness around receiving to expand. Excellent. So I think that you speak for many. Many of us learned, don't ask for anything to begin with because it's not going to be given. And also, Aaliyah was asking about narcissistic parents. If you had a narcissistic parent, there is no way you gave yourself permission to ask to have any of your needs met because you knew they wouldn't be met. So most of us learned in some way or another not to ask to have our needs met. And so again, it becomes crucial that we leave here committed and dedicated to saying, I ask myself so many times a day, what do I need right now? What do I need right now? Simply asking yourself the question, what do I need right now, sends a message to your core self. I am worthy of even asking the question. And then when you begin to meet your own needs and fulfill your own needs, you're sending that core message to yourself. I am worthy of having my needs met. I am worthy of meeting my own needs. I am worthy of having my own needs met. I am worthy. So I want to do one more thing with you. Narcissistic adult daughter that has 4 girls. So for her girls, seeing you care for yourself is also going to be extremely beneficial. Courage, inspiration, and hydration, LOL. I never have hydration very far away from me, right? And I have these bottles, and we always get engraved qualities. This one says joy, we have love, so that I'm continually reminding myself, right? We have one that says inspiration. Beautiful. What do I need to be for my granddaughters? Yes, and that is the question to ask. You need to model to them, I take care of myself. I am in abundance. I am thriving. And the kids are so smart. Aren't your kids so smart? They will see you and they will connect all the dots. So modeling is so underrated in our culture. Modeling is everything. And again, your kids don't need you to be perfect, but when they see you, even tipping the needle 2%, that will make a significant difference in their life. So I want you to leave today recognizing that this doesn't have to be something dramatic. In fact, I definitely know that Will, seeing me in his life learn to care for myself, has assisted him to care for himself. He did not need me. Excuse me, I'm trying to copy and paste something I want to put in the link for you guys. He didn't need me to be perfect. He did not need me to be perfect. So please leave here knowing your kids don't need you to be perfect, and they don't need to see you do some dramatic self-care. This is a small, daily, incremental, how can you live in abundance today? How can you give yourself to be in abundance today? How good can your life be today? And let them just see you slightly tip the needle. Even leaving today from the song, hopefully you feel that internal feeling. I want to give you all I have one more question or one more process for you, but I want to leave you guys with something in the chat. It's a couple of links for some free things that you can grab, and you'll receive this in an email, same link, so you don't have to copy and paste them now. But I just want to go through them. This is the link if you're interested in getting my book. here is a free 6-day soul care challenge and a free 6-day meditation challenge. Each one of those, they're free. You'll just get a little 6-minute, 3-minute video from me every morning for 6 days about how you can implement more self-care, more abundance, more meditation into your life, free. For any of you who already have those and you're interested in diving deeper into a course, one of my most popular courses is called Healing the Heart of the Inner Child. Here's the link. I have a 50% off gift for you if you get it this weekend. The code is MOMS50 off through Sunday evening, May 12th. If you're interested in that course, it's a beautiful, beautiful, deeply transformative course. It's amazing. And then I certify, as I said at the beginning, coaches in the world of spiritual psychology. If you're interested in diving into that, I'll be starting the next collective in 2025, January. You can just go to this link and just look through it. So those are some free and other things for you. And then I want to take you through one more quick experiential process, but I want to read these comments. If you're watching the replay, please write some of this in your journal. If I just make the commitment to make sure I'm hydrated for a whole year, you would literally be a new woman. I really cannot emphasize enough for everyone watching. So hydration might not be your thing, but if you can commit to one small thing, for those of you who know me, you know I'm always working with photos of myself. If you commit to just looking at a photo of yourself every morning for 30 seconds, and we come back next Mother's Day, I promise you will come here saying, I am a different individual. I can tell you, I am completely a different individual that is raising my son today than I was last year, than I was the year before, that I am a completely different individual. And I always say, if I can do it, you can do it. So yes, that's great. I commit to seeing my meditation and prayer practice as a part of my parenting practice. That's why I teach a course. I'm teaching a course right now called Inspired Parenting, but the parenting course I teach typically is called Parenting as a Spiritual Practice, for exactly what you're saying, Cynthia. To see that your parenting is a part of your spiritual practice. And so everything that you do, it's imperative to have a really strong spiritual practice so that your parenting becomes an extension. So I love that. Excellent. All right, so I just want to give you, oh, thank you. Arlene saying, love the inner child course. I appreciate that. It's a really deep, very, very transformative. I have just a particular way of teaching inner child through a lot of experiences that I don't see out there very much. So let me just leave you with one more quick before we go. Just for one more minute, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to call forward that Rachel Platten beautiful song again. I want you to just place your hands on your heart, that this was just a little taste. This was just a little tease. This was just a little invitation that your life can be so good. Your parenting experience can be so rich, and you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do this alone. So I will have more and more of these gatherings. Take away something today, an intention, something that you receive. Just call to your heart something that you receive today that you're taking with you. And then whenever you feel ready, gently open your eyes and just write one thing that you received in the chat. Then I let you go. If you're watching the replay, write one thing that you received in your journal. Maybe it's an intention to really learn to receive. If you did that one thing this year, I am going to learn how to receive. You'll come back next year a different person, learning to receive. I love the Inspired Parenting course. Thank you. I'm so glad. And I see a couple of you. I think Ron is in the class. So I see a couple of you from class. What's really neat for me is I see those of you from all of my different orbits. I see Veronica is from my soul care certification course. So I see you from different areas, which I so love. Peace, hope, excitement you're taking away. Barbara's taking away, I am not alone. All my needs are met. I have community. Prioritize self-care. That's my girl. I received a confident way to support my granddaughters. So powerful. Excellent. Anybody else, just before we go, jot it in the chat, write it in your journal. I received, I just read that, sorry. Use parenting as a spiritual practice. Brilliant, beautiful. May you all land squarely in the paradigm of abundance, receiving, giving to yourself, caring for yourself, and hydrating. All right, much love, everyone. Here's till next time. If you want the course, the book, any of the free gifts, they will be in the email that you get tomorrow. If you happen to be here live and you want to copy and paste the links and go there now, lots more free gifts for you. You would have 12 days of me free just by taking those 2 free gifts. So there's a lot here, and I just wish for you all the gift of caring for yourselves and the gift of abundance in your parenting journey. May it be rich. All right. Much love. Happy Mother's Day to you all as well. Thank you, Barbara. That's very lovely. Lovely. Very lovely. Yeah. Happy Mother's Day. That's the other reason I love doing this course, because Mother's Day can be something so different than a Hallmark holiday. It can be really learning to give to ourselves on a consistent basis. So thank you all. Much love. See you all in class. Many of you are in my different classes, so see you there. Much love, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. If there was something in this conversation that spoke to you, we'd so appreciate it if you would take the time to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share this episode with women and mothers you know, because you are here to thrive. See you next time.